The following podcast contains alcohol-enhanced conversations about alcohol, as well as the potential for the discussion about topics of dubious, disturbing, possibly offensive, but usually hilarious interest. The opinions stated herein are solely of the persons making them, and any endorsement of these opinions by any other party is not implied. Foul language is likely, but intolerant viewpoints are not. Listener intoxication is advised. Hello and welcome to episode 33 of the Whiskey Tangent Podcast and Rooftop Lounge. I'm Scott.
I'm Ed.
And tonight, back by popular demand, it's Ladies' Night. Whoop it up, girls!
Awesome. Love it.
And just to remind everyone who the ladies are, in alphabetical order, we have Shelbi with a C.
Hi.
Hey. Drea with a D.
Hi.
All right. And Nari with an R-E.
Hi.
You heard them previously on episodes 10 and 20. Both were cocktail episodes, so we thought we'd do something different this time. And in fact, it's something that we haven't yet covered on the podcast before. Wines aged in whiskey barrels, a relatively new and surprisingly popular phenomenon in the world of spirits. And to add to the festivities, I prepared one of our patented Quiskey competitions, and we'll be pitting the ladies against each other to see which one knows more about the stupid questions that I made up about wine. But before we get to all that, Ed's going to start us off by running down the list of the 6 barrel-aged wines that we'll be drinking and enjoying tonight.
Right. Thank you, Scott, so much. And it's so accurate that you said this is a new phenomenon in wine. In the last few years, it's the highest growing section in the wine industry. Got 110% growth rate every year. So you're 100% right. This is the place to be in the wine industry. And look where we are. Such trendsetters here on the podcast. So our wines that we're going to be enjoying, 3 different styles, if you will. We have red blends, which are Cooper and Thief Red Blend 2017. Barrelhouse Bourbon Barrel Red Blend 2018. We have a Robert Mondavi Private Selection Red Blend aged in rye barrels 2017. We have a Cab Ménage Trois 2018. And a couple of whites. We have a Robert Mondavi Private Selection Chardonnay aged in bourbon barrels and a 1924 Scotch barrel aged Chardonnay 2018. So 6 bottles should be just enough for us to make our mark on the aged barrel wine experience.
Yes, 6 should be plenty.
Should it? Because we're drinking whiskey too.
Should it?
I will mention that we are, to get our palates wet, we're drinking a Kinsey bourbon finished in Zinfandel barrels.
Yeah.
And I also have a Breckenridge from Colorado, which is finished in port.
Right.
Wine
We
barrels.
did that on episode 16? 16. I'm going to go with 16.
All right, we'll go with that. It doesn't sound right to me, but you're rarely wrong.
It doesn't sound right, but I think it is.
We're drinking some whiskeys aged in wine barrels to flip it around as we drink the wine that's aged in the bourbon barrels.
Right. So right before we get to these, just going to do a short history on the barrel-aged wine. This is from an article written by Tim McCurdy, posted at vinepair.com from February 2019. Barrel-aged wine isn't real wine, and that's okay. In 2014, Fetzer Vineyards winemaker Bob Blue became the unofficial baron of barrel-aged wines with the release of a Zinfandel aged in bourbon barrels called 1000 Stories, a product created out of thrifty necessity. Obtaining French oak for aging wine in the U.S. is a fairly expensive proposition, but bourbon barrels are cheap and plentiful, and suddenly, an entirely new category of wine was born. In the years since, every major American wine brand has put out a line of wines aged in whiskey barrels. Gallo entered the sector in 2016, the same year that Constellation released the bourbon barrel-aged Robert Mondavi Private Select Cabernet Sauvignon. And a year later launched Cooper and Thief, a brand entirely devoted to barrel aging. And with the surge in production, sales earnings quickly followed suit. In 2015, the barrel-aged wine category earned just a little over $1 million. Today, it's almost $100 million. Just an incredible increase in just 6 years. But there are some who argue that these aren't even quote-unquote real wines. And they're kind of right. Everything from their taste to their packaging to their promotion moves these beverages as far as possible from what stuffy people like to call wine. But that might actually be why everyone likes drinking it so much. Barrel-aged wine doesn't taste like most traditional wines, but it doesn't really taste much like the whiskey either. Yet, their tannins are so well integrated that they're practically unnoticeable, making for an extremely easy drinking experience, despite the fact that bottles regularly approach 16% alcohol by volume.
Yes.
And really, we're not meant to appreciate these wines in a traditional manner. The glasses that the Federalist Winery handcrafted for drinking their barrel-aged wines are nothing more than standard rocks glasses. And the images on Stave and Steel website depict barrels, hand tools, dusty workshops, and some random denim-clad dude, rocks glass in hand, sitting on a pile of charred oak in a barn with rusty chains strewn about a dirt floor. The bottles themselves also break from tradition. Old O'Neill Family Vineyards delivers its barrel-aged red blend in completely clear bottles. Cooper and Thief's line comes in short, stocky versions of classic Bordeaux bottles, and Behringer Brothers bottles bulge at the neck in a style reminiscent of Scotch whiskeys.
Tremendous alliteration.
Thank you. Furthermore, age statements that are traditionally confined to the back of wine bottles are instead often prominently featured on the front. And traditional terminology like tannins and terroir have been replaced with phrases that evoke a sense of rebellion and star-spangled pride, like bold and fearless,
Wow.
born from mischief, challenging tradition.
I never knew drinking wine could be so patriotic.
Yeah. So it's pretty clear that these brands are targeting whiskey lovers and trying to get them to think about wine in a different way. But who's actually buying them? Well, according to industry research, it's actually a mix of age groups. Millennials, hey ladies.
Hey.
Gen X, hey me and Ed.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey. And boomers, hi mom. So it seems as if pretty much everyone likes this stuff. But wine snobs remain unimpressed, complaining that barrel aging is just a marketing gimmick and a great way to mask the flavors of substandard fruit.
Relax, Karen.
Yeah, Karen. Like putting lipstick on a pig, said one wine reviewer on Twitter. At the end of the day, it's still a pig. And to be sure, barrel-aged wines and their branding can be pretty one-note, and fans may never graduate to quote-unquote real wines. But the winemakers hardly care, because drinkers are spending just as much or more than they would on traditional entry-level wines. In fact, all of the category's 7 most popular wines retails for at least $15 or more, with many in the $25 to $30 range, and some selling for as much as $60. So if the shade of lipstick on this pig's mouth offends you, who's really the one with the problem? The pig or you?
That's awesome. So let's get to the wine.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So I thought that the first wine that we would tackle tonight is Cooper and Thief Red Blend 2017, aged in bourbon barrels.
Right.
Cooper, of course, is a skilled craftsman that makes barrels.
Yeah.
And then Thief in the industry, it's a tool of the trade for sneaking a taste of the said barrels that are made.
It's like the big long tube that they use to pull out the
Yes.
deliciousness from the barrels.
Right. And I want to tell you the breakdown. There's 38% Merlot,
Okay.
37% Syrah, 11% Zinfandel, 7% Petit Syrah, 4% Cabernet Sauvignon, and almost like an infinity bottle, 3% from other red blends. So
wow.
It just keeps it going. It's 17% alcohol, which is damn near port level.
Nice.
So it's going to be really, really strong and should be kind of sweet. Look at the color. It's purple.
Yeah. It's prune juice color.
It does. It does. And you're not lying. On the nose, you should have hints of dark fruit jam, vanilla, sweet oat, burnt orange or raspberries.
Oh, on the palate or on the nose?
On the palate. So we haven't tasted it yet. So let's all take a little taste.
Round 1.
Oh, I like that a lot, actually.
Very interesting.
It's got like a velvety mouthfeel to it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great description. You would think it would be bitter, but then it's like you initially drink it and then you're like, but then it goes down and it's like a pillow.
Yeah. It's really nice. It's very, very fruity when you
Yes.
first put it in
Yeah.
your mouth.
And it
But then
definitely...
that goes away.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
goes away. And then it's sort of dry and you get kind of the more savory notes.
What this review says is that the wine characteristics balance nicely with the bourbon barrel contributions. In other words, the wine is still the star here, while the caramel, vanilla, and oak notes simply help elevate the fruit notes found in the wine. It finishes with an oak, woody, and vanilla finish, but definitely fruit, explosion of fruit when you first drink it. It's such a good wine.
It's very good.
You know what I think that velvety taste you're talking about is the caramel that you say is in
Maybe,
it?
yeah.
I think
Could
that's what
be.
makes it, like,
It gives it a
velvety.
round, almost like a fatty layer on top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any more of that?
There's plenty. There's plenty. It's right there. Dre, what do you think?
first sip is too sweet, and I just think it leaves an aftertaste in my mouth that I don't appreciate, but I do like the dryness afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You think it finishes dry? Okay.
It does finish dry.
Yeah, I think it finishes dry too. I agree with that.
I like that part about it.
Shelby, what do you think?
Finishes almost like a whiskey. You know when you... Well, obviously, you guys are whiskey heads. So
We know exactly. Whatever the sentence is, we're going to know.
You know that, like, kind of oaky taste you get at the beginning of a glass of whiskey?
Sure.
It finishes like that, which I really like.
Yeah.
I don't find it that sweet, but I get what you're saying. It's
Right. So we're whiskey drinkers and we're not used to this burst of sweet flavor. So maybe wine drinkers don't think this is that sweet, but whiskey drinkers definitely will.
I still think it's a sweet red, but not a port.
No, not a fortified wine
Right.
sweetness. No,
No.
that
But
yeah.
I find that, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It smells brown sugary.
Yeah, that's interesting. Nari, what do you think?
I definitely agree with what.
Okay, we're out of time on that.
With what Shelby was saying, that I don't initially think it's too sweet, but then again, that may be because I do drink a lot of wine, and I like the drier wine. So when something is sweet, I'll say it. But
Yeah.
this one, I don't really think it's as sweet, but I definitely could see how you could think that. But yeah, this is nothing like I've ever tasted.
Yeah, this is
wine.
really good.
It's a
But
very
I will
unique
say
brand.
that as you continue to drink it, it leaves more of a sweet taste on your palate.
And would you say it is a little bit complex for a wine? I mean, it's definitely not a thin or boring wine. I don't drink a lot of $25 wines. I pride myself on finding a nice $15 bottle of wine and rocking it.
Sure.
And if I can find a liter for $15, even better. Trust me, with the people in my house, volume is important.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Size does matter when it comes to how much wine you have.
Hello.
In many things.
So should we move on to the second one?
Right. So the second one is the Barrelhouse Bourbon Barrel Red Blend, which Dre brought for us.
Hi.
Hi.
So I brought the Barrelhouse Red Blend 2018. And actually interesting, when I was looking up this wine, I could not find the winery's website.
Yeah, she called me and I looked for it too. And the closest I could find is that it seems to use like a collective out in California. Like they use the facilities of a larger, like,
Okay.
like they all come there and share the facilities.
Yeah.
Like, so they're not big enough to have their own facility.
Oh.
I don't know why they're not big enough to have their own website though. I mean, we have our own website.
Yeah, that's true.
So I thought that was kind of strange that we couldn't find them. But I know there's a couple reviews. So what did you find, Dre?
Well, I know this is aged for 3 months in a traditional oak and then bourbon barrels. The alcohol percentage is 13.2%. So,
Interesting. So specific.
you know. And actually, I thought this was interesting. They suggested to eat lamb with this
Lamb.
drink. Yeah. So,
God.
Bah.
Oh my God, it's Goat Girl.
Oh my God.
Edit.
Oh, anyway, please continue.
Anywho, this is considered a rich and intense wine, which means they use very rich fruit and spices. I like the bottle because it has a very rustic label.
It does.
Yes.
You
Very,
know?
This is another one that kind of looks like a bourbon bottle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. A lot of red fruit. Obviously, it's supposed to have a hint of vanilla and butter, which gives it like a oaky aroma.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, no, so this one doesn't smell as fruity on the nose as the
No.
first one.
This smells more traditional wine to me. This is completely different than the first one. It's about $20 a bottle, 13.2%. So it's less alcohol.
It's the middle taste for me. So I feel like since I've been drinking a lot of wine, you get 3 tastes. You get the first one, you get the middle one, and then you get what you finish. So the middle one is like it's sour. Like, oh, that was a bad idea. Kind of like that.
It tastes like regret.
It tastes like regret. That's perfect. It tastes like regret. Yeah, not my fave.
Yeah, the first part isn't as sweet as the first wine. The middle part, I do hear what you're saying, goes a little sour on you. And the finish is still dry. I think, though, I taste more of maybe what we're supposed to taste from the barrel at the finish of this one than I did the first one. Like the first one seems more integrated. Even though it goes from sweet to dry, this one does the same, but it's not as sweet and the finish is not as good.
I think you can definitely taste that it was aged in
Very
bourbon
smooth.
barrels,
It is
though.
smooth.
Yeah.
I'm getting more from the third sip. than the first two. I'm starting to taste more of the flavors.
Okay. I think what you said though, Ed, this one tastes like a more traditional wine than the first one. Like the first one tastes like something special.
Well, to me, this
different.
is drier all the way through. Like it's drier in the middle and it finishes way drier than the first one.
It is.
It's as heavy as the first one either.
No,
it's not. It is lighter.
I like the first
It
one
is
a lot
lighter.
more because I'm not a great wine drinker.
Me too. Shelby, what do you think about this one?
It's tart. It's very tart.
Agreed.
Much drier than the first one.
Also agreed.
Is it more traditional than the first? Is this about?
I would say it's more traditional.
It tastes like a cab to me almost.
Yeah.
This is a red blend, right?
Yeah, it is a blend. I bet you they got a big chunk of cab in it. If I had to
Right.
bet, we can't find the mix on hers.
I like it more than the first one.
Do you?
I do.
I
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the first one compared to this one was
Too
this was-
jammy and sweet for you. Too
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah.
because
I
it
can see
really
that.
Left, after the third or fourth sip of it, it was just a little too sweet.
Too
This
sweet.
What
for
about
me
you,
is
Dre?
like-
This is better, but I think this is better with the cheese plate.
Yeah, well, that's
Like
part of
this-
it. What about you, Nari? Which one did you like better?
I'd have to say the first one, but neither of them impressed me. I mean,
Oh,
no,
right.
I'm not gonna lie. The first one impressed me, but I wouldn't take them home with me, if you know what I mean.
No.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we're going to rate these all from 1 to 10 at the end.
Right. So that's why I'm getting you to think
Yeah.
about it now.
Sure.
And also, we have another red blend coming at the end, which is an X factor because it's a rye barrel one. We're not doing that till the end. So
Right.
another blend will come back. We'll see how we like that one.
All right. So now we're going to start the quiz key.
Yes.
Round 1.
All right.
So just to reiterate the rules, it's going to be 3 rounds. The first round, a correct answer, first buzz in gets 100 points. If you get it incorrect, another person can chime in. If they get it correct, it's 50 points. If they get it wrong, the third person can chime in, but if they get it right, they get 25. But if they get it wrong, since there's only 2 answers left, they get negative 25. So they're penalized for a third chime in incorrect answer. In round 2, the points double. In round 3, the points triple. In the first 2 rounds, there are 5 questions. In the third round, there are 3 questions. In the final round, you bet your points on a single question like Jeopardy. So, everyone ready? Hands at the buzzers?
Ready, Betty?
All right.
Oh. Whoever buzzes first. You're about to bring out the competition
I know.
in me.
I know. All right. So, round 1 is just general wine knowledge. Question number 1 in round 1. How much wine is contained in a standard wine bottle? Is it A, 250 milliliters, B, 500 milliliters, C, 750 milliliters, or D, 1,000 milliliters? Dre.
750 milliliters.
750 milliliters, C?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Nice job.
All right.
I knew that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do it every time I know the answer.
Question number 2. How many grapes does it take to make a standard bottle of wine? A, 100 grapes, B, 200 grapes, C, 500 grapes, or D, 1,000 grapes? Oh, Shelbs.
1,000.
D, 1,000? That is incorrect.
I knew it.
Nari?
500?
That is also incorrect. Drea?
100.
That is also incorrect.
Hell?
It's 200 grapes for a bottle of wine.
Yeah, that's not as
more.
much as, yeah.
I was thinking like 1,000 grapes because that one episode of I Love Lucy where she stomped
Oh,
grapes,
yeah.
a lot of
In
grapes.
the bin, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I thought. Like, you need 1,000 to stomp on those bad boys. Like,
All right, so Dre, you actually lost 25.
You guys are
Sorry.
really, really bad at this. Not the answers, but just taking the quiz itself.
Because we're fast,
Yeah,
not in a hoe way.
no. Question number 3. In addition to the 3 well-known colors of wine, red, white, and pink, or rosé if we're being fancy, there are actually 2 more. Are they A, orange and blue, B, green and purple, C, yellow and black, or D, indigo and violet? Nari.
Indigo and violet.
That is incorrect.
What?
Chelbs.
Orange and blue?
Orange and blue,
Blue
is
is right.
correct.
That's right.
Suck on that.
That is correct.
Yeah.
because, like, blackberry.
There's a thing
Okay.
called a blue wine, which is actually, it's got additives in it to make it look blue. It's kind of a gimmick.
that's the one.
Orange wine is actually a real wine. It's a sort of a blend of wines, and it kind of has this orange hue to it. It's kind of a new thing. Clearing the buzzers. Question number 4 in round 1. On certain bottles of blended wines, you may see the abbreviation NV. What does NV stand for? A, no vineyard. B, not vatted. C, never verified. Or D, non-vintage. Nari.
Not vatted.
Not vatted B. That is incorrect.
Wow, it sounded good.
My God.
It sounded so good.
Drea, go ahead.
D.
D, non-vintage?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Oh, I was gonna guess that first. I need to go with my first instinct.
Or Dre's answer, one or the other.
All right. Last question in round 1, and then we get to try more wine.
I bet I know this, but I'm not allowed to play.
Which region of France gave rise to the grape variety known as Pinot Noir? Is it A, Burgundy, B, Bordeaux, C, Beaujolais, or D, Champagne? Shelby.
Bordeaux?
Bordeaux is incorrect.
Oh, that's what I thought too.
Sorry.
Oh, you were wrong.
I know, I was wrong.
Nari, you were second. Go ahead.
Beaujolais.
Beaujolais. That is also incorrect.
Oh my God.
Drea, you have either A, Burgundy, or D, Champagne.
D.
No, you
That is also
That's
incorrect.
Burgundy.
Oh. I need to start going with my instinct.
So at the end of round 1, Drea is winning with 100 points. Shelby has 50 points, and Nari's got a goose egg. Sorry, Nari. So we're going to take a break, clean our glasses, and then pour the next 2 wines.
Round 2.
And we're back for round 2. And Ed's going to tell you the wines we're going to be drinking.
We're going to start off with a Ménage à Trois.
Oh.
The one French word I can say. Everyone knows I can't speak French words, so people help me out.
Yeah, it's Shelby's job this time.
Right, so it's a Cabernet
Sauvignon.
aged in bourbon barrels, 2018. It's 14.8% alcohol. And it sells for around $15, which is significant because Ménage à Trois usually is a $10 or $12 bottle. This is one of the more expensive expressions. I want to give a background on Cabernet.
Sauvignon.
A Cabernet,
Sauvignon.
known as the king of red wine grapes, Cabernet
Sauvignon.
enjoys the same regal status in California as it does in its native home in the Bordeaux part of France. Widely planted red wine grape in California, Cabernet
Sauvignon.
commands the highest price per ton and is the dominant grape found in some of California's most prestigious brands. Some of the most expensive wines in the United States are made from this noble grape. Cult wines like Screaming Eagle and Harlem Estate sell for about $1,000 per bottle.
Whoa, what?
They have Pappy Van Winkle envy. But don't let that scare you. Great non-cult cabs can be found for much less, starting at around $20 or less. Top growing regions include Napa Valley and Sonoma County. Cabernet,
Sauvignon.
so nice, is dry and full-bodied and is prized for its long aging potential. It is also known for displaying characteristics, green flavors like bell pepper, eucalyptus, and mint.
In a cab?
In a cab.
Wow.
Is
Cabernet,
eucalyptus poisonous?
I don't think the flavor of it is.
Right.
You can buy eucalyptus
Oil.
leaves and put them in your shower. And
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't eat them, right?
No, but
Well,
I mean,
that's
it's-
true.
You can put them up your butt if you want, but I
Can't
think they burn. So Cabernets grown in California tend to be more fruit forward and mellow, with rich dark fruit notes of blueberry and blackberry, as well as earth, dust, mocha, and cedar. Dust is a flavor now? Okay. Then everything in my house is a cab.
Wow.
The moderate to high
Yeah,
tannin
you're right.
levels
You are dusty.
and Or you're now out of my Ménage à Trois conversation. The moderate to high tannin levels and concentrated flavors in California cab make a sensational food wine. It's superb with porterhouse steak, braised pork belly, hearty lamb stews, portobello mushrooms, and grilled burgers. The Ménage à Trois Cabernet,
Sauvignon.
aged in bourbon barrels, is the first thing we're going to try.
Yes.
It's 95% cab, 5% Petite Syrah.
Well,
And,
Syrah.
the juice is aged for 3 months in oak barrels previously used to craft 6-year-old Kentucky bourbon. I feel like we need to investigate what's 6-year
Yeah, yeah.
bourbon. That's a unique age, I think. 6
Yeah.
years.
Wow.
Fruity notes, wine.
This smells like the first one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
This smells like the first
it
one.
smells much more like the
I
first
feel like
one.
the
It
first one
does.
smelled sweeter though.
You might
It
be right.
did. The first
More
one was
fruity.
sweeter, but this is sweeter than the second one, definitely.
All right, let's taste it and see what we think.
Wow.
Wow, it tastes good.
It's amazing.
It tastes good. It's almost a balance of the first two. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got the sweetness of the first one and a little bit of a dry finish of the second one.
I don't even have the words except for delectable, rich. I guess I do have the words. And amazing. This is like the best wine I've had in a very long time.
Wow.
Wow, that's great to hear. What do you think about that, Dre?
It's not bad.
Well, that's not a ringing endorsement. Like if you just have sex with someone, like how are they? We're bad.
I mean, this
They knew where everything went. It's all right.
They knew where everything went.
It's all right.
They knew anatomy, basically. You know, it's-
They say that it's jammy, blueberry, and blackberry flavors, cloaked in
Where are you
caramel
getting all that from?
and smoky spice.
I get all of that,
I get all
actually.
that, actually, really. I'm right there with it. Not so much the
Am I the
caramel.
only one that's tasting some of this and just like,
not agreeing.
no, I just
That's
start
okay.
to feel like I'm bullshit because it's all starting to taste the same.
Oh my god, that's why I didn't say anything. I was like, well, yeah.
Well, they are supposed to taste sort of similar.
They are red wines. and
Yeah, they're red. The three we've done is red wines finished in whiskey barrels, so they probably all have a very similar taste profile. We're kind of splitting hairs between the three. However, I think what we're all agreeing with is that this is a perfect blend, if you will, of the first two.
I do really enjoy this though. It has more of a bitter taste at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, and that could be the youthfulness of it because it's Ménage Trois. It's only $15. It's cheaper than the other two.
I'm getting a little like a citrusy kind of flavor. After it's gone, the taste that's left in my mouth is almost lemony.
I thought it was very good. I actually still think I might go with the first one because I just like that so much, but this is actually better than the second one for me, hands down.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now too.
Awesome.
Let's taste the first white wine that we have.
All right,
on
well,
the
first of all,
list.
it's a Chardonnay.
Yeah.
And with over 100,000 acres of production, Chardonnay claims more acreage than any other grape in California and reigns supreme as the most popular wine consumed in the United States,
Wait, what?
including reds and whites. Chardonnay.
Wow.
Chardonnay can trace its humble origins to Burgundy regions of France, and today it's the most widely planted white grape in the world.
Oh.
Chardonnay can be clean with bright acidity and full body with tropical notes, varying degrees of oak. In California, the latter is more a popular style. Sonoma chards have more acidity. Napa Valley chards lean towards a riper and fuller style with more tropical notes. However long you age it in the oak adds layers of vanilla, spice, butter, and toasted hazelnut. I know that the oakier shards tend to have a slightly buttery profile. White wines are better with seafood and crab cakes and salads, but fruits also. So the one that we're doing now, Nari brought to us today.
It's called the Robert Mondavi Private Selection Chardonnay, aged in Bourbon barrels 2018. Well, the winery actually where it's from is in Monterey County, California. The alcohol percentage is actually 14.5, so woot woot. And it was aged for 2 months in bourbon barrels from a renowned Kentucky distillery, and it offers notes of vanilla and baking spices from the fine bourbon that once filled these casks.
But they don't say which one.
No one
No,
knows.
they just say a
Yeah.
fine Kentucky distillery.
2 months. Okay.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't trust Kentucky.
I don't trust those bastards.
Right. So it actually has a lot of flavors in here and a lot of aromas. So they say that it has intense aromas of ripe pineapple and toasted coconut emerge from the glass, framed by hints of toasted marshmallow and vanilla bean custard.
Damn.
A rich, creamy palette of grilled pineapple lemon custard,
Oh.
graham cracker, toffee, and vanilla bean is balanced by bright acidity. Subtle undertones of toasty oak and baking spices round out the lingering finish on this decadent Chardonnay.
Damn.
And it actually won 2 awards.
Oh.
It won the gold in the Denver International Wine Competition in
Denver.
2019, just last year.
Denver.
Don't cast shade on Denver.
And then the gold in its very own Monterey County International Wine Competition
Little
in
home cooking.
2018.
Yeah, and the bronze in the Topeka Wine Opens.
Stop.
Topeka.
Haters.
You know how I feel about you, Topeka. You know where you live.
All right. Yeah. All right. So this is completely different. I'm not a big fan of white wines.
At all.
I don't really know how it's supposed to smell. Has been chilled.
And as white wine goes, Chardonnay normally is like an armpit to
Oh,
me.
I already smell the butteriness.
Yeah, I already don't like the nose of
It's
this.
buttery.
I just spilled it down in front of me smelling it, so it's a bad omen. I like
Nothing
literally.
in. Oh.
I hate Chardonnay. I despise Chardonnay. It's nasty. I think it's one of the
It
grossest
smells
wines
really
you can
okay.
have.
All right, so
Let's
here's the
taste.
test.
It's the most
right?
popular wine in America, just so you know.
Okay, so wait. So here's the test. You guys don't like Chardonnays, so maybe aging it in whiskey barrels might help it.
Yeah.
Right, and I haven't had it aged in whiskey barrels, so this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot better than a lot of the Chardonnays I've had. It's sweeter than I remember. It's not horrible to me. So that means maybe the girls will hate it.
It's definitely different, but it's still, first of all I taste is butter. I taste a hint of like aged in whiskey barrels. And at the end, it's more butter.
I love butter. I don't taste butter at all. I don't know where that comes from, but it's just not something I pick up on it. I also don't taste toasted coconut or marshmallow either.
Or baking spices or
Yeah, I was expecting the bourbon to be a little bit stronger.
yeah, I kind of taste like maybe pear.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I mean,
a very light fruit.
pretty much just tastes like a regular Chardonnay. It's a little smoother.
A little
and not
sweeter
as
too. Would you say
dry.
a little sweeter?
Smoother and sweeter. It's
For
not
most
as dry.
Chardonnays, because Chardonnays
Yeah.
are armpits to me. They're like dry, gag in the back
Yeah,
of the throat.
once you sip it, it's like your mouth gets dry. But this one, only the top part of your mouth gets dry, and the bottom part gets like that.
This is
little
the best
bourbon
Chardonnay I ever
smoothness,
had.
You know,
This might be the first Chardonnay I ever had, so it is also the best I have ever had. But simultaneously, the worst.
now you have something to compare to.
Yeah. So
But you
Shelby
hate
and-
Chardonnay, so give us your input on
Yeah,
it. Do you
Shelby
hate
and-
this less than other ones, or
I don't mind it.
right? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
A ringing endorsement.
For Shelby with a Chardonnay, that is.
I don't hate it.
Yeah,
and
right.
I'm not as I said, I'm not a white wine guy. So this, I would drink this. I doubt I would order it. I'm a red wine
Right.
guy. And if I'm a wine guy at all, yeah, this is probably fourth.
If
on
I
the
was at a
list so far.
funeral and all they had was this,
If I was at a funeral, not even a wedding.
no. I expect better at a wedding, but a funeral sometimes you have a little table, some coffee.
Oh, I see.
No.
Yeah, they have a red and a white and some coffee.
Right. Yeah. So
You know what's funny? After like having the fourth sip, it's not bad.
it starts to grow on you.
There you go.
Honestly, this gives me like a dry Pinot Grigio vibe.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
The thing is that we're used to drinking whiskey,
Yeah.
and I'm sipping this like a whiskey, and I
Yeah.
can't do that. You have to take a bigger swallow of
Right.
the wine because it's,
Right.
it's less dense than a whiskey is. It's way less alcohol. There's fewer flavors that you're going to grab out of it with just a tiny sip.
So I was.
But when I take a bigger sip, again, it's fine.
This is stronger than the Barrelhouse, though.
Oh, it's got a little
And
bit
you
of a kick
can't
to it.
tell, yeah.
14 and a half, right? Yeah.
It's definitely better cold because mine's starting to warm up, and I'm liking it less as I drink it when it's warm.
I like to drink red wine in a tumbler, which is perfectly okay. But white wine, your hand will start to
and that's
increase
what's,
the heat,
That's what's happening.
and it will start to erode the flavor profile of the wine.
Yeah.
So that's why you're supposed to drink it with the
So I
stem.
don't mind it, but I want it to be over.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, then we'll end it.
That's how I feel about all smoky scotches. Yeah.
So let's play round 2 of Wine Quiskey.
Yeah.
All right. These are questions about naughty named wines.
Here we go on.
All right. So the points are doubled from round 1. 200 points for a first chime in correct answer, 100 for a second chime in correct answer, and 50 points for a third chime in correct answer. However, if you get it wrong and the third chime in, you will be penalized by 50 points. Question 1 in round 2. The French wine brand Le Vin de Merde, literally shit wine, has which of the following disgusting creatures depicted on its label? Is it A, a fly, B, a maggot, C, a dung beetle, or D, Post Malone? A Nari.
A maggot.
A maggot. B. That is incorrect.
Dang it!
Shelbs.
A dung beetle.
A dung beetle. C. That is also incorrect.
Hey!
A is correct.
I'm not going with my instinct.
All right. Round 2, question 2. Naked Winery in Hood River, Oregon, has a few tongue-in-cheek wine names like Diva, Cougar, and Never Have I Ever. But they also have several more sexually themed wine names. Which of the following is not one of these sexually themed wine names? Is it A, Booty Call, B, Penetration, C, Blazing Straddle, or D, Oral Pleasure? Nari.
A.
A, Booty Call? That is incorrect. I'm so sorry.
That sounded good.
Dre.
Oral pleasure?
Oral pleasure, D. That is correct.
What the heck?
That
Dre
is the
is on
correct
That was a
answer.
little too vulgar, if you know what I mean.
Oral pleasure.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
That's not
sexy enough.
Yeah, Snatch liquor. See, that's something you put on a label.
Yeah.
Right? Right? Am I right, Scott?
Snatch liquor.
Snatch liquor. That's what you put on a label. You don't put oral pleasure on a label.
That's actually
Right.
good. I like it.
Yeah, snatch liquor.
No, that sounds like
Nasty.
pedophilic.
Why is it pedophilic? There's all ages have snatches.
Why pedophilic?
Because like snatching up children is what she said.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm talking about
Penis
snatch liquor.
slice.
Yeah, it's an old school kind of.
Snatch?
Yeah.
Snatch, yes.
You never heard of
It's an old
Snatch?
term for vagina.
Why? Because
Snatch.
Snatch is a dick?
Yes.
Oh, so that means you have to have a tight gooch.
Right. Yeah, well,
No,
sure.
that's not what it means.
I don't think you have to have a tight vagina to call it a snatch.
Same.
Ed, we've lost control.
Because a loose one couldn't necessarily snatch.
Oh my god.
It could kind of suggest or coax.
Oh my god. All right, where am I? Buzzers are cleared. Question 3 in round 2. Which of the following is a Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand named after a compound sometimes found in wine that smells like urine?
Ew.
Is it A, dog pee on a blackberry bramble? B, mouse pee on a loganberry branch? C, cat pee on a gooseberry bush? Or D, rabbit pee in a blueberry bog? Nari.
D, rabbit pee.
That is incorrect.
Oh my
I'm so sorry.
What the heck?
Dre's nuts.
What was B?
B is mouse pee on a loganberry branch.
That one.
That is incorrect. Shelby, hazard a guess? It's either dog pee or cat pee, really.
Cat pee?
Cat pee on a gooseberry bush? That is correct.
Oh my god, Shelby.
Okay. Question 4 in round 2. Paso Robles, California, also known as the anti-Napa Valley, is home to a red wine named Fuck.
That's like a Britney Spears song.
Yeah. That is sold in which of the following non-standard containers? A, ceramic bottles. B, aluminum cans. C, plastic tubes. Or D, mini wooden barrels. Shelby?
Wooden barrels.
That is incorrect.
Of course it is.
Nari?
Cans.
That is correct. Nari is finally on the board.
So you have 100 points.
Yeah, there's one more question and then I'll do the scores. In the early 2000s, a wine from South Australia called Simply Bitch started a new wine naming trend. Today, there are dozens of bitchy wines. So many, in fact, that it's hard to believe that they're for real. However, one of the following pairs of bitches definitely isn't real. Is it A, cranky bitch and dirty bitch? B, happy bitch and jealous bitch? C, sweet bitch and sassy bitch? Or D, royal bitch and tasty bitch? Shelby?
Royal bitch and tasty bitch.
D, that is incorrect.
Good guess.
Sorry. Drea. A, cranky bitch and dirty bitch. A is correct.
Dre has been living a dream tonight. She gets everything right.
All right, so
Fuck this game.
in round 2, the points were Dre has 300, Nari got 100, and Shelby got 50. So at the end of round 2, the totals are Dre with 400 and Shelby and Nari tied with 100.
All right, but anything happens in round 3.
Oh, round 3, the points are tripled, and, and there's only 3 questions, so anything can happen.
I will fucking crush you.
Shut your whore mouth.
I love when we get them to turn on each other.
Exactly as I planned
Oh
it.
my God. Who's prettier?
Scott.
Scott's the prettiest. They're a good answer.
That is correct.
That's hilarious.
So also remember, there's a 4th round, the final round, where you bet your totals like Jeopardy. So you can bet up to your whole total. So even if you're losing by that point, you might still win.
Right. So I get a pee.
Well, we're going to pause anyway. When we come back, it's going to be Shelby's time to present her 2 wines.
Yes.
Round 3.
All right, we're back for our last round of tastings. These are the 2 wines that Shelby brought. First of all, a 1924 Scotch Barrel aged Chardonnay, 2018. And then another Robert Mondavi private selection, this time their red blend aged in rye barrels from 2017. So Shelby, let's talk about the Scotch barrel first.
Sure. So it was made by a company called 1924. They were founded by the Delicato family. They are Italian immigrants, a pair of brothers. They moved to San Joaquin Valley in 1924, which is obviously where they get the name from. It's still owned by the family, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, fancy schmancy, right? They used to ship their grapes out to winemakers in Chicago, and then when Prohibition was repealed in 1933 and home winemakers were no longer profitable, they made their own wine factory, and this is how we got here.
All right, so let's taste this second Chardonnay of the evening.
Chardonnay too.
Oh, this is a Chardonnay?
Yeah, this one was finished in the Scotch barrels.
This one
Yeah.
smells sweeter for sure. More
So
berry.
apparently it's a full-bodied Chardonnay. It's layered with rich toffee, sweet tobacco, and baked apples with notes reminiscent of Scotch. So you should taste hints of leather, caramelized brown sugar, and toasted oats.
This is the one.
It's definitely has that
Wow.
smoky taste and bourbon smoothness flavor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This both smells and tastes better than the first one.
Wow.
Yes.
The other one was the best Chardonnay I ever had till this one. This one is the best Chardonnay I've ever had. This is delicious.
Yeah, I like this
I've never
one.
had a Chardonnay
Holy
like
cow.
I think you guys like this better because it tastes more bourbony.
Okay, I'll go with that.
I admit it. I taste it. I taste the
Yeah.
oak. I taste the vanilla. I taste the toffee. Everything that Shelby said we would taste.
I taste apples.
It's like not buttery tasting at all. It's dry and it's what I want white wine to taste like. Best Chardonnays I've had.
Shelby is frowning.
For me, I just don't care for the aftertaste. It's a little strange.
I think that's the barrel.
And
but-
taste the barrel.
So the 1924, I just will say this. They also have a double black bourbon barrel aged Cabernet.
Sauvignon.
1924. So I really feel like we have a quest for next time we have this to have the 1924 bourbon barrel cab from them. Oh, by the way, real quick, I'd like to celebrate a little
Okay.
toast for everybody. Get your wine up. So, happy birthday.
This time, Ed was not involved with
Right.
any breaking of glasses.
So I want to wish a happy birthday to Dre. Right.
Hey, happy birthday, Dre!
Dre turned 27 last weekend. And Shelby turns 28 next weekend.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Shelby!
So-
28 years old.
Libras. Woo!
Woo, 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 woo.
And I turned 53 in January.
Oh, wah, wah.
happy birthday,
April
ladies.
12.
Happy birthday,
Thank you,
April.
thank you. We are level-headed and kind, and we are the scales, you know. Depending on my day, you'll catch me on one of them.
Catch me on one of them. That's a good one.
All right, so let's do the second wine
Yes.
that you brought, Shelby.
So the second one is the Robert Mondavi Rye Aged Red Blend.
Ooh, very excited about that.
Ooh, rye aged.
Apparently, because this is aged in rye whiskey barrels, it supposedly results in an incredibly bold and unique sensory expression. Okay? It's dark ruby in color. It has aromas of poisonberry, black cherry,
Poisonberry.
nutmeg.
Wait.
Yes.
Boysenberry?
Poison. Oh no, you're right. I'm sorry. I said
Poisonberry is like murder. Murderberry.
Oops, sorry.
My apologies. Boysenberry.
I like
Yes.
that though.
Nutmeg, cinnamon, and gingerbread spice with
Ooh.
hints
Nice.
of sweet mesquite smoke, tobacco, and barley malt.
Interesting.
It has chocolatey tannins and a smooth, subtle smoke on the finish. The primary grape is Merlot, but
Okay.
it is comprised of Merlot grapes, Malbecs, Petit Verdot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Cabernet Franc.
So what does it smell like to you, ladies?
As soon as I smelled it, I was like, that's a smell like I'm not going to like it. But you know what it reminds me of? The third one? Maybe not in taste, but in my liking of it.
I agree with you. It does taste like that one. It's drier, though. Like the
But I
finish
like
is
that
much
because
drier.
I like the dry wine. So I think it gives you like 80% dry, and then you taste the flavors.
Yeah, yeah.
I traditionally have liked blends better when I drink red wine. Everything that Nicole just said, I agree with. This is probably second for me because
Okay.
it has a little more complexity. It has a little bit of the dry finish that the second one had. It has a little bit more of the hybrid that the third one had, but not quite as much as I like the Cooper. So
Yeah. This is terrific. I can taste some of what, Shelby, you were saying, the taste characteristics of a rye. And it is so very dry at the end. And Nari, what you were saying, where all the flavor comes in as it's drying on your tongue. Like
Yeah.
it's the driest thing I've ever tasted
Yes,
in my entire
exactly.
life.
That's perfect. It all comes in after it's like drying.
really
That's
good though.
perfect.
Really good though.
Chelbi, what do you think about it?
This is probably my favorite.
Is it?
Gives me vibes of my favorite Pinot Noir. It's also made by the same company, the Robert Mondavi Bourbon Barrel Aged Pinot Noir. So I'm getting that oaky, smoky flavor, that smoothness, velvetiness, if you will, even though it's dry. But I think it was the second one. The second one kind of made you go like,
Yeah.
like you smacked your lips afterwards. Your tongue, you're just like, wow.
Yeah, this
man,
one has
this
more
is good.
flavor to it.
Yeah, it's
than that
a
one, yeah.
really great wine. This has to be my favorite. This
Wow.
is my favorite. Yeah.
Wow.
Drea, what do you think about it?
I have to agree with Shelby. This is my favorite wine as well. It's a smoother dry. So it's not just like you drink it and your mouth is like dry as crap.
Yeah.
It still runs down your throat.
It's like if the one Dre brought, if they knew what they were doing, this is what it would have tasted like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right?
And you know what's funny? I kind of taste the gingerbread, like a hint
Oh,
of gingerbread in the
interesting.
dryness.
Uh-huh.
So, hello Christmas morning. So,
Oh my God. Yes. Let's drink this.
Wow, I think this was the one that we all agreed on. I
It's
think
my
we all like
second
it very
favorite.
much.
I just tasted it next to the
Yeah,
Cooper
all of us,
Thief
yeah.
again. I had held some out. Mainly, I was drinking the bottle the whole time. It's killed now.
I took the rest of it.
I know.
Why do you guys really like that one? I did not.
I
like it.
did like it a
know.
lot.
I mean, I shouldn't say I didn't like it. It was enjoyable. After like 3 sips in, I was like, I can't commit to this.
Yeah,
Yeah, but see, we're not wine drinkers, so I expect this one to
Wait,
be.
someone's here.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
It's Shavonne, friend of the podcast, director of HR
and social media
and social media marketing,
and photography.
and the mayor of Jackie's Crossing.
Look at that beautiful face.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Oh my God, it's so popular. So much love in the room, everybody.
Freaking New Year's.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since the ladies have seen Shavonne since New Year's Eve.
Yeah, she and I took an Uber over.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, I remember this.
and the most
now.
frightening Uber ride back.
Was it? Wait, what?
Why?
We think our Uber driver was drunk.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have reported him. But we were also drunk, so we didn't know if it was actually him or if it was just us. So are we ready for round 3?
Yeah.
Ready?
All right. There are only 3 questions in this round, and the points are tripled. 300 for a first chime-in correct answer, 150 for a second chime-in correct answer, and 75 plus or minus for a chime-in correct incorrect
And
answer.
a little mocking and shade at that
And
point.
mocking and shade. Okay. Question 1. On July 4th, 1776, the founding fathers of the United States of America toasted the signing of the Declaration of Independence with which fortified wine? Was it A, Madeira, B, port, C, sherry, D, vermouth? Drea.
Port.
That is incorrect. Shelbs.
Sherry.
Also incorrect. Nari.
Madeira.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Nari gets 75 points. Question number 2. Even though the standard bottle of wine is 750 milliliters, there are others that are much larger. The largest bottle holds 15 liters and is named after which biblical king? A. Solomon, B. Jehoshaphat, C. Nebuchadnezzar, or D. David? Shelbs.
Nebuchadnezzar.
That is
That's it.
correct.
That's it.
Damn.
Wow. Look who's back in the game.
I knew that because he was a pompous asshole and God banished him to 7 years in the forest.
Oh, it's
Wow.
because of religion.
But he had the most amazing palace and he was really fucking rich.
Look at the big Bible on Shelby.
Knowledge.
religion, man.
Wow.
Knowledge.
All right, ladies, this is the last question in round 3. In 2011, archaeologists uncovered the oldest winery and winemaking materials ever found, including drinking bowls, a grape press, and fermentation jars dating back to 4100 BCE inside of a cave located in what European country? A. Austria, B. Armenia, C. Albania, or D. Azerbaijan? Nari?
The one I can't pronounce.
D. Azerbaijan? That is incorrect.
Oh my god!
Drea?
C.
C. Albania. That is also
No.
incorrect.
Damn it.
Shelby.
Armenia?
That is correct.
Wow.
I'll tell you right now. Wait. Nari buzzed in after you said Armenia the first time, and then she backed off her original thing.
And I
You didn't even hear Azerbaijani before you clicked in.
Scott, this is is all your fault.
Okay, well, it is because I created the quiz.
The question.
I did. All right. So,
F you. Yeah, I'm a sore loser. That's the fuck
that's
right.
a random belligerence moment right there. All right. So, in round 3, the scores were Chelbi with 375, Nari with 75, and Drea with 0, surprisingly.
How the hell did I get 0?
Wait.
Well, you didn't answer a question right. No, that's just in that round, not total. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, right. You gotta wait for the
Okay.
score.
Yeah.
I was about to chop someone's head off with your
Jeez.
Gandalf sword.
At the end of round 3, the scores total are Chelbi with 475, Drea with 400,
Are you fucking kidding me?
and Nari with 175. Now listen, you're all going to text me how many points you want to bet. Nari has entered her points. Chelbi has submitted her points. Just waiting on Drea.
Again.
All right. I have Drea's points. So the final round question. Even though winemakers can manipulate the exact color of their wines, traditionally speaking, the 3 most popular red wine types are noticeably different colors. Place the following red wines in order from darkest to lightest. Merlot, Pinot Noir, and Cabernet.
Sauvignon.
All the answers are in, even from Ed. We're going to start with Nari. Nari says Pinot, Merlot, and Cab. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. She bet 0 points.
Oh, smart.
Strategy. So she ends up with 175.
5. Fuck yeah.
All right. Drea. So Drea bet 400 points.
Go
Her
for
answer was Merlot, Cab, Pinot. That is also incorrect.
That's incorrect.
Stop.
Shelby, why are you sending?
Chelbi has also bet all of her points. Chelbi says Merlot, Cab, Pinot also.
Because it's right.
That is also incorrect.
Who had the right answer, Scott?
The correct answer is the answer that Ed actually submitted.
Wow.
Cab, Merlot, Pinot. So the scores are Nari wins with 175.
OMG. No, I didn't win. Thank you. I'd like to thank. Wait. I'd like to thank.
Fuck off.
Oh, damn.
Wait, I'm saying who I'd like to thank. I'd like to thank my daughter,
Oh,
Noni.
Noni.
Noni, this is to you.
totes adored.
And I'd also like to thank my wine drinking partners, Shelby and Dre, my spokespeople, Scott, and then I'd also like to thank the other lady in the room, Shavonne.
Hey, Shavonne! How you doing? All right,
kill
so
me.
the only thing we have to do now is rate the wine. So I'm
Okay.
going to go through. Let me
Let's
put
just
them in the
look-
order we
yeah.
tasted them.
Hey, Scott, why don't you put them in the order we tasted them?
Good idea, Drea.
Thank you.
Wow, such shade.
I'm sorry you lost.
Are you
No, not really.
He's not sorry. Don't let him lie to you.
Okay, so we're going to rate the wines in the order that we taste them. When I call you, rate it from 1 to 10. The first one we tasted was the Cooper and Thief Red Blend Bourbon Aged. Ed?
9.
9. I'm going to give it a 9 as well. Chelbi.
2.
Wow.
Not a fan. Drea. Get closer to the mic.
4.
She got closer and then whispered it.
4.
That better. 4. Okay. Nari?
A 5.
5. All right. The second one we tasted, the Barrelhouse Red Blend Bourbon. Ed?
4.
I'm going to give that a 6. Chelbi?
7.
Okay. Drea?
I give that a 6 as well.
Nari?
Give it a 7.
7. Okay. The third one we tasted, the Ménage à Trois Cabernet Bourbon Aged. Ed?
8.
I'm going to give that a 7. Shelbi?
8.
Drea?
5.
Nari?
I'd say an 8.
Oh, an 8.
Nice.
All right. Okay. So the Robert Mondavi Chardonnay Bourbon Aged, the fourth one we tasted. Ed?
I'm going to give it a 5.
I'm going to give it 4. Shelby?
1.
1.
Wow.
She's a hard scorer. She's like Jeff.
Urine's a 0. Just putting it out there.
Drea?
5.
5. Okay. Nari?
3 is my favorite number, so this one gets a 2.
That was not logical.
Awesome. I love that.
She won the competition. She can say whatever she wants.
Shut
The
up.
1927 Chardonnay Scotch. Ed?
6.
6. See, I like that a little.
Or maybe 7. 7.
Okay. I agree. 7. Shelby?
Ew.
No, you like that one. Oh, no,
No.
you
No.
didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. That's right.
She liked the first one and gave it a 1.
Yeah, no, so I don't know. There's very little less to go.
1.
Ew.
Okay.
Wow.
You do have to give a number.
God damn it, Scott.
Just say 1.
You said
0.5.
1 is what you're giving it.
It's already messing up all the other averages.
0. Fuck it.
All right. Drea, what do you give it?
I give it a 7.
Okay. Nari?
6.
6. Okay. 6. All right. And the last wine, the Robert Mondavi Red Blend, finished in the rye barrels. Ed, what did you give that one?
I ranked that as my second favorite, so I'm going to go 8 on that.
Dude, we are so agreeing tonight.
On wine.
Yeah,
We're locked in on wine.
we are. Shelby?
10.
10. Wow. Drea?
9.
Nari?
Everyone led that one.
I'm going to give it a 9 as well.
All right.
However, if you mix the last 2 together, I give it a 7.
Drea made her own blend.
I want to point out that the wine that Shelby grabbed as an afterthought turned out to be the best wine tonight.
It did. And so,
I think that's key.
Seriously.
yeah, so going through the scores, the Robert Mondavi finished in the rye barrels did actually win with a score of 8.8. The second place was the Ménage Trois.
Wow.
Surprising.
Yeah, third place was the Barrelhouse. The fourth was the Cooper and Thief. The fifth was the 1927. And the Robert Mondavi Chardonnay was the worst at 3.4.
Okay, I agree with that lineup. I don't know if the Barrelhouse would have been my third, but I'm with you.
Yeah, so not a lot of people agreed, but I think we agreed that the best wine was definitely the rye finished one.
Yes.
The rye finished cab.
Yes. And which is what Shelby picked lastly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
She got it at the last minute.
I know. It's amazing. So, I don't know. Take us out, Ed. I think we're done.
Well, I want to thank Nari, Dre, and Shelby for being at our first wines aged in bourbon barrels. I think it was a huge success. We learned a lot. And I appreciate them for being here and bringing such interesting wines with them.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much for
Welcome.
having
Thank
us.
you so much for having
This
us.
was
Is like
wonderful.
a top of the line
Mm.
podcast, and you guys are doing so well. And I just want to give a shout out to the Whiskey Tangent. And if you guys aren't listening, why the hell aren't you? And you guys are doing really great. I'm really proud of you, and I'm so glad to be on here. It's an honor, and you guys are great.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And our hardcore fans are big fans of the ladies. I'm sure they'll be happy to see you make another appearance.
Yeah, popular episodes. Yeah.
And I want to
'Cause
thank
it's ladies' night.
the feelings right.
This
It's the ladies' night.
Oh, what a night.
Oh, what a night. So wonderful to have you out here. The wines were great. The company was great. The cheese plates were great. Thanks, Scott, for all this preparation and
Thank you
host.
so much,
Welcome.
Scott.
So good.
Thank you so much, Uncle Scott.
Uncle
That's
Scott.
right, because he's a hot uncle.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Oh,
is.
facts.
Thank you.
Uncle Scott.
So for the,
Facts tonight.
we'll cut that. But both the,
I'm the editor. We will not cut that.
Oh, people will think we're really related, so then you might have to cut it.
Well, yeah, that's true. We're not related.
right. So,
We're related by love.
Oh,
Yes, oh my God, Joe.
so sweet.
wow, the wine's showing now. So, so for the Whiskey Tangent podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
I'm Nari.
I'm Dre.
And I'm Shelby.
All right.
So thanks so much for listening. And y'all enjoy wine with your meals. And cheers, everybody.
And
Kiss your
cheese.
kids now.
Oh,
All
later.
right.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Tip your
Bye.
bartenders. If you enjoyed this podcast episode, be sure to check out our next episode, which is way better than this one.
Oh, yeah.
Also, follow and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/whiskeytangent. And follow us on Twitter at Whiskey Tangent. You can follow me personally at That Whiskey Guy. And follow Scott at Giant Cup of Awesome, spelled AWSUM, just to be annoying.
Hey!
You can email us any questions, comments, or love at whiskeytangent@gmail.com. And of course, you can find us always at our podcast website, whiskeytangent.podbean.com.